Classic TV fans, Rick 9G here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island. I'm so happy to do this. I've never done a video like this. I'm going to rank the characters of Gilligan's Island. Ranking, I'm going to put them in a list. If you see below here, I have them all alongside the bottom. Everyone from the 7 castaways to people who went on the island. Now, this is not every single person that was on the island, but it was people that you may remember if you're a big fan of the show. I won't go through every single one right now. As I choose them, we'll get to it. I'll probably hit the castaways at the end and go through the minor, guest characters that were on, talk about them just a little bit. And remember, these are the characters. So if we look there, you see Don Wrinkles right next to the professor. So Don Wrinkles is great. I love him. But that doesn't mean that I enjoy or like the character that he was playing. So this is only the character. There's nothing to say about the actor mostly. It's focused on the character. The portrayal, whether it's boring, interesting or not, and this is what I have for all of them. The rating is perfection, amazing, great, good, meh, which is like meh, so-so, poor, it's really bad, and then off the island. Just get them off the island. I don't know if you want them on there. So let's just get started. By the way, there's a link in the description, or you can just go tiermaker, tiermaker.com, and just type in Gilligan's Island, and you should see it pop up. This will already be there. I'll provide a link in the description for it. So basically the top link in the description, you just click on it, not in the comments, in the description, and then it'll go to this page, and you can do it yourself. All you gotta do is kind of highlight someone like Kurt Russell. This is little baby Kurt Russell, young Kurt Russell. Put him wherever you want. Put him in great, amazing, and so forth. If you're not sure, you can put him back. You can even drop him here and go back and so forth. So yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to start down here with Denny Miller, who played 2 characters. He played Tonto, kind of the ape man, and then he played like a surfer dude. I'm going to start with the surfer dude. This was one of the early appearances, the earliest appearance of Denny Miller. I think he was... I'm going to put him kind of here. I don't think it was meh. I think it was good. He was a good character. He wasn't like standout, interesting or anything like that. And he was good. I liked him. He was with the castaways, but then he hit his head on a rock going back to normal land, and then he got amnesia. So unfortunately for him, he didn't tell anyone where the castaways were. Let me go to the ape man. I think I liked him almost as well. I mean, it's the same guy playing him, but I'm looking at the character. I think I would rather see the Duke. I wouldn't see what Duke is, the one in black and white. I would put him in good as well. I won't put him as great or meh. It's something that, I think we put him the same. Let me continue down here with Mr. Lord Beasley. He's trying to catch the pussycat swallowtail, right? And all the castaways are trying to help him. Lord Beasley. Now remember, this is the character. Now, if I think about this character, honestly, it's kind of forgettable. I am deciding between meh and poor. I wouldn't necessarily want him off the island. He was fine. I just think that his portrayal, the character itself, so not the actor's portrayal, was kind of meh. He was a forgettable character to me. I like the episode better, not necessarily him, the character Lord Beasley. He was just very forgettable, just a British guy who wanted his butterfly. That's it. He was very one-dimensional. And so that's why I didn't like. He was just, you could kind of see right through him. Let's continue. So this is Richard Keel. He is, he played, right, the Canamet in Twilight Zone. He was Jaws in 007, one of the villains. He was mostly playing a ghost, if you remember that. The ghost on the island. Woo! And then everyone on the island kind of dressed up like a ghost as well. He was only played for a little bit. I did not like his character. I mean, like, he was an easy character to dislike. He was like, I despise him. So for me, I'd put a meh here. It wasn't that he was bad, but it was very different about his character. I didn't care for him much. Now, Nehemiah Persoff, who I believe passed away not too long ago, one of the longest surviving cast members of Gilligan's Island. He played El Presidente, right? I didn't like this episode that much at all. And much was due to the actual character. I'm going to put him in meh as well. I didn't like that he was like the puppet and he was trying to, hold up Gilligan and treat Gilligan like the puppet. And again, he was very one-dimensional and he just didn't really appeal to me. So I'm going to put him there. I don't know your thoughts on these. Let me know if yours are different or not. Now the mosquitoes. There were 4 guys, right? 1 actor, and then the Wellingtons played the mosquitoes. But I'm going to use them as one character, if that makes sense. Almost as a band, as a general, as in a whole. How did I like them? I think they were good. Kind of one-dimensional, they're a band, kind of playing like the Beatles. They did have their fun moments. I thought even funny moments. So, yeah, I think I would definitely put them in good. We have no one in great, amazing, perfection, or poor yet, but we're going to get there. Okay, I haven't planned these out, but I have my idea. Okay, Zsa Zsa Gabor. I think Zsa Zsa Gabor is great. I love her in a lot of guest portrayals that she had. I did not like her character at all. Erica Tiffany Smith. I did not like her. I wasn't excited to see her. Sure, she's a beauty, but we're not just going off of beauty. We're going off of the character. Kind of fallen in love with the professor. Very forgettable. I think it was a poor character. They didn't flesh it out. They didn't write so well. I skip that episode sometimes. I just watch it because sometimes I forget what happens. But yeah, I skip it. Now, this man's named Eddie Little Sky. He played Headhunters. He was in many different episodes. I think he was good. I think he didn't even speak much, but he was formidable, and he was a bit scary, and he had gravitas. He had this weight to him in regards to how seriously he took his character. He seemed like he was, right, like a headhunter. So he was great. He was good. He was good. I'll put him in good. Okay, Rory Calhoun played the hunter. He basically hunted Gilligan all over the island for game. He said, if you can elude me for 24 hours, you'll live. If not, I'll kill you, basically. And that was kind of a dark story. I'm going to put him as great. I was thinking of putting him in good, but he was a good one to hate, if that makes sense. His character, like, he was a good villain in this one. Like, I hate him as a villain, right? Like, his character is just, he doesn't care. He is like, I am the boss on the island. I have the gun. Gilligan, he's so confident. And yeah, I think he went above and beyond. I wasn't really a Rory Calhoun fan, but seeing him in this, I really enjoyed it. Okay. Here we go. Now we have this character who I think is very, very interesting. Sterling Holloway, who did the original voice of Winnie the Pooh. He was never really on the island. He was in a prison and he communicated with the castaways through pigeons, basically. And I think he was silly. I think he was a good addition to the story. He was right at the end of season 3. He was kind of funny, and I think he was pretty good for never even physically interacting with the characters on the island. He was pretty good. All right, Mr. Barkley. Mr. Barkley was dropped on the island, and he apparently had... he was playing a game show, right? And the idea was that he was supposed to be away from everyone and spend like a week without any human interaction, although he was on the island with the castaways and the game show didn't know. I like him. That is the actor. And, what we've got here is failure to communicate. Or he was in I Love Lucy. Are you ladies from the South, from the North? Right? He was the guy with the Hatchet Murders episode at the cafeteria. Also, I hated his character. Like, he was not pleasant. It's like they were right on the edge of getting rescued because of him and his selfishness, that he just wanted his money. He wanted to win the contest. So I would put him as great, not because he was so believable. I don't think he was a fun character. I think he was just the guy to hate, right? Okay, Wrong Way Feldman. He appeared twice. I'm head over heels for Wrong Way Feldman. I am going to put him. He's the first one who's going to go into amazing for me. He's not quite perfection, but he was amazing. Wrong Way Feldman. He was funny. He was silly. He was on Gilligan's... he was on I Love Lucy, I Tippy Tippy Toe Through the Garden, Where All the Pretty Flowers Dwell. That was him. He was also Mr. Jenkins, the secondhand furniture guy. He was also the voice of Captain Hook in Disney, the original Peter Pan cartoon. He was great. Wrong way Feldman. Getting lost and everything as a pilot. So amazing. Okay, Vito Scotti actually played both of these characters, Boris Balankov and the Japanese sailor. I enjoyed him a little bit more as Boris Balankov. I think he was a great villain. He was funny, yet creepy, but you kind of loved him. And that's why I put him as great. I'm going to put him in amazing. Boris Balankov appeared 3 times. He appeared definitely 2, I think a third. But let's just say twice. In the brain switching episode and then in the ring around Gilligan. I think that's it. I think those are the 2. But anyway, I think he's a great actor. Vito Scotti, I think he's playing, right, a Japanese sailor. I'm going to put him in good. Now in the politically correct world, people probably wouldn't favor him. I don't think he did a bad job. And we did see him twice, and he's fun to watch. I just think he's good. Definitely not meh, but definitely likable. He was likable. Okay, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's a little boy on Gilligan's Island. That's awesome. I think it's great. So that puts him up in the great category. I just think great. He didn't have a speaking role, so everything was kind of silent and mimed. And I think it was pretty good at the part. It's cool to see Kurt Russell young and smiling, and I don't know. It's just very unique. And whenever I see him on screen, it's just like, dang, that's Kurt Russell's little boy. That is so... And on Gilligan's Island, like, it blew my mind, right? And so I think that's great. Now, this is D. Alexander Dubov. Now, the actor's name is Harold Stone. I loved him on Hogan's Heroes. He played a couple German soldiers. Great actor. I detested Dubov. He's going off the island. He's worse than poor to me. I could not stand that episode. I didn't like Dubov. He was annoying to me. I didn't want to hear him speak. One of the worst, to me, guest characters. Not actors. He was written apart. He did his best with the role. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It's just the character was not to my liking at all. Don Rickles, the kidnapper, he kidnapped, right? He was an artist, Dubov. Don Rickles was a kidnapper. He kidnapped basically all the women on the island, and then he was kidnapped himself by the castaways and then kind of suckered them in and became friends with them, and then he stole all over again. A scoundrel. A gangster. Definitely not in the meh category. I'm here somewhere. I don't think it was great. I'm going to put him in good. There was just something missing that I didn't like. Not in the meh, but I wish I could have liked him more. The character. He was just like a scoundrel, and he didn't really have any redeeming qualities. He was funny, but he was sneaky funny, and that just didn't give me that enough to really like him. Okay, now finally getting to the 7 castaways. Wow. 7 castaways. Here we go, everyone. I'm going to start out with the Howells. Mrs. Howell, as I got older, I've seen these characters differently. I like Mrs. Howell now, because as a little boy, I didn't understand. I was like, oh, it's boring when the Howells are there. They're older, and I just didn't get it as a 3 to 5-year-old. Now I get their humor. She's silly. She's sweet. She's like a mother. She's on the higher class rank, but they have a good heart, and they're almost very ignorant and have no knowledge of manual labor, right? So Mrs. Howell is great. Mr. Howell is amazing. Mr. Howell, as I've gotten older, is one of my favorite characters now on Gilligan's Island. I used to rank him low before. The reason, I didn't get the humor. I was too small, and I didn't understand, like, Harvard versus Yale. Like, I was like, what is that? What's Harvard? What's Yale? It's a 5 to 8-year-old, right? But as I grew up, I understood him more, and I just love him. Now, the professor, I love Roy Hinckley. That's his real character name, played by Russell Johnson. Russell Johnson's amazing. As a kid, I think I liked him a lot. As I grew older, he annoyed me more, because as the daughter of Sherwood Schwartz said, who I interviewed, and she's amazing, he's an alarmist. And he's kind of paranoid. And he was wrong a lot of the time. Not that it's bad to be wrong, but he led them down the wrong path, the castaways. Not on purpose. Many times. And so he was good. I like to see him on screen, but his character annoys me a little more. Believe it or not, it does. He does. and I appreciate other characters. Alright, Marianne. I've loved Marianne. I used to like Ginger more, but now I love Marianne more now that I'm older. And so Marianne's amazing. Marianne is sweet, little, innocent, perfect. Marianne, perfect not in the sense that she did everything right or knew everything, but she's just like her heart, and she's like the perfect girlfriend, perfect wife type thing, right? Ginger, I've always loved Ginger. I had a soft spot for her because she does have a good heart, her character, played by the brilliant Tina Louise. And I liked her always because I was very attracted to her as a kid, and she's a very attractive woman. But as I've grown older, you know, some people talk really bad about her. And yeah, she was kind of flirting with the men and stuff. But I felt like that was a show. That was the other side of Ginger, the fake Ginger that she had to put on when she was in Hollywood. Kind of like the Howells. Like, you can't hate the Howells, right? Because you know that in the end, Mr. Howell was like sneaky and stuff, but he had a good heart. And so you have a soft spot for him. Same thing with Ginger. Ginger actually cared for everyone. She helped Gilligan out one time, right? I believe he got a splinter. She was actually helping him out to get the splinter out. Don't worry, Gilligan. I mean, she had hormones and stuff, right? But so I'm gonna put her in the great category. I like Ginger. Soft spot for her. Now, the Skipper I love because he was like the yin to the yang of Gilligan. And as I've grown up, he really elevates the character of Gilligan. They make each other. He's amazing. Alan Hale Jr., the Skipper, Jonas Grumby, out of this world. Now, if you noticed, I've had someone in every single category. Some less, some more. Do you know where I'm going to put Gilligan? I know some people detest Gilligan because he fouled up rescues. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I've always seen myself as Gilligan. He is me. The childlike mentality, innocent, just like the innocent mindset. He did make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. He tried his best. And let me tell you, he was brave. There are at least 5 episodes that I can count off the top of my head where he was going to sacrifice himself knowing that he was going to die for the castaways. He had a good heart. He was a good guy. Yes, he fouled up the rescues. But if you think the end game of Gilligan's Island is getting rescued, I think you're missing the point. That's what we're all led to believe. But it's about getting along. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about being selfless to the others. I really think this. And this is what Sherwood Schwartz was getting to. Hope Juber, Sherwood Schwartz's daughter, said something to a very similar degree. And it's not like I'm copying her, but I would agree with her that Gilligan is perfection. He's perfection because he's not perfect. He's clumsy. He is everything that we are. We all say, Gilligan's dumb. He messed it up. I wish I could get rid of him, get him off the island so the other castaways would have been saved. No. Because getting off the island was never safety for them. Look at Rescue from Gilligan's Island. Everyone had a horrible life when they got off the island. And when they stayed on the island, everything was great again. Everything was funky. Everything was cartoony. They had a great life there. They had everything they needed. In essence, they had all their needs provided for. They just longed for stuff, but they had what was most important, which was each other. So I hope you enjoy this. Give me your own. Click the link in the description, and it'll send you here. And then you can do this for yourself, and you can, move these around. You can put them here, wherever you want. You can put them all in perfect. It's up to you. Share some of your thoughts with me. I do appreciate you watching this video, supporting me. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to all the Patreon supporters. We'll see you all next time, and don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. Thank you so much to everyone who supports my work on Patreon. David D, Sally N, Gerard D, Greg S, Ricky, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, and Vito L. If you want to appear on this list, don't forget to look at the Patreon description in the link below. Thank you.